Welcome back to Chilltalk English. Today, we're talking about travel and adventure. And yes, I am recording this while sitting at home in the same chair with the same cup of tea. So if you hear real adventure in my voice, it's acting.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emma. And Henry, don't worry. Staying home is also a journey. A slow journey. A very safe journey.
Safe is my favorite kind of adventure. But today, we'll help you talk about trips in a natural way. We'll teach useful phrases and we'll practice them with simple examples.
This episode is great for conversation practice. You can repeat after us or shadow our lines. And don't worry if you make mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning.
First, let's start with a feeling many travelers know. The feeling when you really want to go somewhere. You look at photos, you check maps, you think, I need to leave.
That feeling has a fun idiom, to get itchy feet. Not real itchy feet. No problem with your socks. It means you feel a strong desire to travel or change places.
Here are two simple examples. Every spring, I get itchy feet and I start looking at flights. After exams, she gets itchy feet and plans a short trip.
Quick mini practice. Repeat this line. I'm getting itchy feet. I want to go somewhere new.
Nicely done. And if you don't want to travel, you can say, I'm not getting itchy feet right now. I'm happy at home.
Henry says that every week. Then he watches hiking videos for 2 hours.
That's research. Very serious research. Okay, now you have itchy feet. So what do? You start your trip.
A great phrasal verb is set out. Set out means to start a journey. It sounds a little story-like a book.
Example time. We set out early to avoid traffic. They set out on a journey across the island.
Shadow this one. We set out at sunrise and the air was cool.
Now let's talk about how a trip feels. Sometimes it's easy and enjoyable, sometimes it's hard and tiring.
For an easy, nice trip, we can say a pleasant journey. Pleasant means nice, enjoyable, comfortable. Example, I hope you have a pleasant journey.
And if it's difficult, we can say an arduous journey. Arduous means hard, demanding, needs a lot of effort. Example, the hikers had an arduous journey in heavy rain.
Let's make it super clear. Pleasant journey, comfortable train, good seat, snacks, calm music in your head. Arduous journey, long walk, heavy bag, wrong turns, maybe cold wind.
That second one sounds like my life choices. Here's a short practice. Choose one, pleasant or arduous. The bus was late, it was crowded, and I stood for 2 hours. That was an...
Arduous journey. Not dangerous, but definitely not pleasant.
Great. Next phrase. When a trip is very long, you might stop to rest.
Yes, you can break the journey. Break the journey means stop during a long trip, then continue later. Example, we broke the journey in a small town and stayed one night.
It's like the trip is a long line and you cut it into 2 parts. And there's a close idea, a stopover.
A stopover is a short stay in the middle of a longer trip. Often it's because your flight, train, or drive is too long to do in one go. Example, we had a stopover in Seoul for one night.
And another very common phrase is make a pit stop. A pit stop is a quick stop to refuel, eat, use the restroom, or stretch your legs. Example, we made a pit stop to buy water and coffee.
Henry's pit stop is usually a bakery. He says it's for energy, but it's also for happiness.
Happiness is important fuel. Now, let's build a mini story so these phrases feel real.
Okay, imagine we're planning a trip together. Henry, where are we going?
Somewhere with gentle weather and comfortable chairs. But also, okay, fine, somewhere a little adventurous.
I love it. Here's our story. We're in a big city. It's been a stressful month. We're tired and we both get itchy feet.
So we decide to set out on a weekend trip. We want nature, but we also want good food.
Perfect. But the drive is long, so we break the journey. We stop in a small town, have a stopover, and sleep.
The next day, we make a pit stop for snacks. And I buy too many snacks.
Too many snacks is not a problem. Too few snacks is a problem.
Fair point. Now, what do people do when they travel? Let's learn some common collocations.
First, try the local cuisine. Local cuisine means local food. Example, when I travel, I always try the local cuisine.
Easy and natural. Another, take a guided tour. That means you join a tour with a guide who explains things. Example, we took a guided tour of the old castle.
Next, go sightseeing. Sightseeing means you visit famous or interesting places. Example, on our first day, we went sightseeing and took photos.
And here's a phrase that many travelers love. Go off the beaten track. It means you go to places that are not the usual tourist spots. Quieter places, more local, less crowded.
Example, we went off the beaten track and found a small, quiet beach. It's a great phrase and it sounds very fluent.
But please be careful. Off the beaten track can be wonderful, but safety matters. Tell someone where you are going and bring what you need.
Totally. Adventure is fun. Panic is not fun.
Now, let's talk about types of travelers. This helps you describe yourself and other people.
First type, an intrepid traveler. Intrepid means brave and adventurous. Example, she's an intrepid traveler. She loves unknown places.
Second, a seasoned traveler. Seasoned means experienced. Example, he's a seasoned traveler. He knows how to pack light.
And third, an adventurous traveler. That one is simple. It means a person who loves adventure. Example, they're adventurous travelers. They try new sports.
Let's make this personal. Emma, what kind of traveler are you?
I'm a mix. I'm adventurous, but I also like a plan. So maybe an adventurous traveler who wants clean socks.
Very reasonable. I'm not intrepid. I'm more like a cautious traveler with big dreams. Dry chuckle.
Henry is the type who reads top 50 things to do and then does 2 things. But he does those 2 things very well.
I do them slowly. That's my secret skill. Okay, now we need to talk about money because travel is exciting and also expensive.
Yes, money vocabulary is super useful. First phrase, my budget doesn't stretch to. It means you don't have enough money for something.
Example, my budget doesn't stretch to a 5-star hotel. Another, our budget doesn't stretch to eating out every meal.
This phrase is polite. It's a soft way to say, I can't afford that.
Next idiom, travel on a shoestring. It means you travel with very little money. You choose cheap transport, cheap food, maybe hostels.
Example, when I was a student, I traveled on a shoestring. You can still have a great trip. You just spend carefully.
Now, 2 more phrases that are very common. Travel to your budget and go over budget.
Stick to your budget means you follow your plan for spending. Example, I'm sticking to my budget, so I'm cooking simple meals.
And go over budget means you spend more than planned. Example, we went over budget because we booked a last-minute tour.
Let's do a mini role play. You're listening, so you can copy our lines.
Okay, we're on our trip. We see a beautiful hotel. I say, Emma, look, a rooftop pool. Let's stay here.
And I say, Henry, our budget doesn't stretch to that. Let's travel on a shoestring this time and save money.
And I say, but the pool looks like a dream. Ah.
And I say, you can dream for free. Let's stick to our budget.
So we choose a simple place. It's clean, it's quiet, it has a tiny window. The window shows a wall.
A romantic wall, very local.
Then we go out and we try the local cuisine. I order something spicy because I want to be brave.
And Henry turns red like a tomato. He drinks water like it's his job.
It was an arduous meal, not a pleasant meal, but it was a good memory.
Next day, we take a guided tour. The guide tells funny stories. We learn history. Henry asks 5 questions.
I ask careful questions. Then we go sightseeing. We take photos. We buy a small souvenir.
And then we go off the beaten track. We walk away from the crowds. We find a quiet path with trees and soft light.
And for 10 minutes, everything is calm. No emails, no noise, just wind and birds. That moment feels like real rest.
That's why people travel, right? Not only for photos, also for feelings, for space in your mind.
Nicely said.
Now, let's do a quick speaking practice with short lines. Repeat after Emma. Keep it simple.
I'm getting itchy feet. I want to set out on a short trip. I hope you have a pleasant journey. Let's break the journey with a stopover. Let's make a pit stop for coffee. I want to try the local cuisine. Let's take a guided tour. Let's go sightseeing. Let's go off the beaten track. I'm sticking to my budget.
Beautiful. And here are 3 extra natural questions you can use in real life.
Question 1. What kind of traveler are you? Question 2. Do you want to do sightseeing or relax? Question 3. Should we stick to our budget or treat ourselves?
Treat ourselves means spend a little extra for something special, like one nice meal or one special activity.
Exactly. A balance is good. Because if you go over budget on day 1,
Day 3 becomes free walking tour of my own sadness. I've done that tour. It's not pleasant. Before we finish, let's do a final story moment.
okay, we're back home after the trip.
I unpack my bag. I find sand in my shoes. I find a ticket stub. I find a small postcard.
And you smile, right?
Yes, because even a short trip can feel big inside your heart. And now the itchy feet are quiet. For a week.
Then the itchy feet come back. And you start planning again.
That's the cycle. Travel, rest, memories, and then new dreams.
Thanks for learning with us today. If you want, listen again and shadow the phrases. Say them out loud. That's how you build confidence.
And remember, you don't need a perfect accent. You need clear, simple words and practice. See you next time on Chilltalk English.
Bye, everyone. Safe travels wherever you are.